Welcome, guys. We're doing a sort of a new version of this show.
Our podcast.
Whatever. We're just talking. Now we're going to have some gameplay footage. And because Nicholas Eugene was so kind to play this game, because he's been wanting to for a bit.
Yeah.
So who's in this episode?
Nick's here. I'm playing games.
Miguel's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here playing Orcs Must Die
2.
Second.
You know what I really like about this part? If you click on him, they leave a little smile.
Oh, wait, I thought you were going to pick pretty...
I am, but I wanted to show you him because he's a shithead.
Oh, wow.
Oh, those little
yeah,
eyebrows.
Eyebrows, actually.
I can't wait for this. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Makes sense.
That's how you spell Squire, right?
I don't know.
I think there's like a G in there now.
Whatever.
Okay.
Beats me.
Point of the story is,
Speaking of beatings...
gameplay doesn't matter.
On the topic of beatings, we're sort of going to talk about comic movies and why we still watch them.
What does that have to do with beatings?
Because they beat each other up. They beat things up. They break
Oh my
things. They
God,
break a lot of things.
I've been beat by a comic book movie before.
Sometimes. And I mean, I guess, so, it goes without saying, we all go to see them, for a while we would go see them midnight, as soon as the movie drops, we just wanted to get in, we wanted to watch it. And we're all sort of versed in like our own thing of comics, like we all sort of have like our the characters or the stories that we kind of like more than the others, so that's like what we like resonate with. I know Nick, liked a lot of Batman shit.
Huh?
Miguel liked a lot more Marvel stuff.
I'm more of a DC fan myself.
Yep.
Are you now?
Fuck no.
That's a lie. It's a big fat lie.
Yeah.
You know what was a big fat lie? Paul Giamatti in that one movie.
Big fat liar?
Yeah.
I love him.
Oh, I was like, an Amazing Spider-Man. I thought we were
Yeah,
going
his-
Oh shit, you're smart. Yeah.
His
no.
plot in that movie was a big fat lie.
Yeah, him being the Rhino was a big fat lie.
Yeah.
That's true. That was a big letdown.
Can we talk about comic book movie letdowns to start off this episode?
Go for it.
Alright. I want you guys to think of your biggest letdown. Things you can't use. Halle Berry, Catwoman.
Okay.
Ben Affleck, Daredevil, because that's just not even true.
That movie's good.
Exactly.
It's alright.
We'll go into why it's good, probably, I don't know. And that's it. Everything else is free play.
Venom.
Venom,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
Off the rip.
Comic book letdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, so when everybody first saw the teaser or the trailer, wherever the fuck it was, and you just saw like, oh man, we're gonna get Venom and get all the Sandman. Oh shit, it's a movie. And then you get to the fucking movie and you see the symbiote and you see him go through the whole arc that he has when he becomes the Black Spider-Man, black suit or whatever, and he becomes edgy or dark. He becomes like a fucking edgelord. He probably post-dank memes before they were a thing, whatever. And then you actually get to see Eddie become Venom for like 6 minutes.
Some bullshit.
2 of them were the minutes where he turns, which is what we saw in the trailer.
He really just screams, and then they smack the pipes.
Yeah.
Peter smacks his pipes up. And then he's like, oh no, the sound, it hurts my ears.
Just way piped up, and that was it.
Yeah, man, he piped that shit up.
Yeah.
Do you want a pipe, Rodrigo? What do you want to do? You want a pipe right now?
God, I forgot about that. Why is that a thing?
So, I'll tell that story quick. We went to a local record store, and for some reason his sister walked out with a new Method Man CD.
Yeah.
I didn't know Method Man was still making music, let alone that he still produced on a CD. Whatever. Anyway.
That's just his method, man.
Oh god.
Literally,
Can I get a high five?
we get in the car. And Rodrigo looks at me, and he's like, "Hey, do you want a pipe?" And I'm assuming, I'm hoping, he meant to say "pop it in," and it's just a fucking idiot. And because we had been saying "pipe it up" all day, because Migos is a thing.
Yeah, they had that song at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd been saying "pipe it up" all fucking day, and I was hoping he just decided to be a fucking moron for a little bit.
No.
And but apparently, so now anyway, it's just like a thing that we say now. We're just like, "Hey, do you want a pipe?"
Well, we haven't said it in a while.
We haven't said it in a while, yeah.
It wasn't until you guys brought up pipes. But yeah, good times.
Anyway,
Good times. Your biggest
You know what really sucked?
tell me.
Robin. Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, that?
You really want to do Dark Knight Returns today, don't you?
Yeah. And it's not going to even be Bane. I'm not going to even talk about how I feel about Bane because I feel like other people have already gone over that. Because whatever, Bane was Bane. We get it. Some people didn't like it, you know. But can we talk about the fact that Robin sucked?
I haven't seen
Robin
the movie in a
Robin
minute.
didn't exist.
Yeah.
No, he did because remember he goes like pick up his passport like, oh, your name's Robin.
Well, I'm saying like he
What a
didn't,
lovely
he
name.
didn't
Oh
make a
my
fucking
God.
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How upsetting for them to even try it. You might as well have just made this no-name Good Samaritan who aspires to be like Batman. But I remember getting out of that movie, everyone was like, oh my god, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, let's make him Nightwing, let's make him Batman, let's reboot the series with
People were
him.
talking about
Like,
that, actually.
I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure some of you guys were saying that.
I mean, Nightwing is my favorite DC hero, so that's why I was excited about the prospect of it. But then Nolan was like, I'm not making any more movies, and I was like, cool.
I am glad.
But I
At
mean,
least
too.
from where they ended there, it ended as best as it possibly could.
I can give it that.
Without having to go into another movie. It went into another movie, it would have Spider-Man 3'd.
Yeah, you're right.
Possibly, but I mean, Dark Knight Rises out of the whole trilogy, it's. I mean, obviously, it's always like the worst one of the three.
Well, because it's
Whatever.
a terrible movie, but we'll get into that. I
But-
guess.
I think in the bigger scope of the rest of the comic book movies, that one's not horrible, or not the worst one. I want to say.
No, I'm just talking about the letdown
Yeah,
that was,
That was that.
the Robin that everyone was hoping for. Because, I mean,
that was a little too on the nose. That his
But-
name was Robin and not just like
Yeah.
Dick, Tim, or
yeah,
whatever
but
the fuck.
some people are going to agree, and some people are going to disagree, because some people didn't expect much from Robin anyways, because Robin is a character that Aquaman pretty much was too, before, you know, people started realizing, no, these guys are actually badass.
Yeah.
When you tell, like, I guess the older audience about Robin, they think of this little kid in spandex that was, like, running around with motherfucking,
And the cape and shit. and
what's
the
his name?
Tights, Bruce.
no, the Adam West.
Oh, right, right,
Or
from
whatever.
the- from the-
Yeah,
from
so
the
they're like,
66.
he's not even that cool. What are his powers? He's just like this lame, you know, like bitch to Superman. And they
Batman.
found the same of Aquaman until people started realizing these guys are actually pretty dope. You know, give them some time to develop and actually be written right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess written in a more like new.
Accessible way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think for someone who actually I don't like Nightwing as much as like Nick per se, but I do like Nightwing. I do like all the Robins, and I feel like that was a letdown for anyone who was like, oh shit, this Joseph Gordon-Levitt character could be maybe Nightwing. And even though they weren't going to make another movie after it, and I'm sure they knew that, they could have at least done justice to what could have been great.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
what
feel
wasn't.
like Nolan's downfall in that franchise was sort of he wanted to do too much with the villains, and you see it like in all three movies. Like, I feel like the only like well portrayed character in that franchise was no Scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
Scarecrow was probably the best
Scarecrow was
portrayed.
great, yeah.
He was the most like true to the comics. He was also believable, like in like Nolan's like, oh, I want to make everything realistic. You know what I mean? Like he
I
felt
thought
like
about him. Yeah.
Raish, whatever. Like they didn't really like.
Yeah.
It
Like-
wasn't great, but I like the idea that he became more of an overarching villain than we thought it would be.
Yeah, well, like the thing is, like he's supposed to be the intellectual counter to Batman,
Yeah.
and he just became his trainer.
Yeah, my thing is, I didn't miss him after the first movie.
Yeah,
That's,
I
that's
didn't- I
how you
didn't
know
miss
that a character's good.
Yeah.
That's why Loki kept coming back and like crap.
Yeah.
Even though he may have overstayed his welcome in some fans' minds, which I mean, you can't really say that because he's only in the Avengers, but he basically just hangs out in Thor movies. I wasn't like, oh damn, you know, this movie could use some rage. I wasn't watching The Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises thinking that, which I'm pretty sure I called earlier The Dark Knight Returns, but we'll go into that some other time.
yeah. You said that earlier before we even recorded, and I was like, he means Dark Knight Rises.
We all knew.
I mean, I guess I said return because you returned to doing the same old boring shit that the first movie. I'm kidding.
So anyway,
But,
to finish that thought,
I was gonna say I feel like they only
I'll-
brought him back just to like, sort of like cover the whatever holes they were trying to develop by making, Bane a part of the League or whatever the fuck they're trying to do with that.
yeah, and also, well, okay, I made a blanket statement and I said that like the only character that was portrayed well was Scarecrow, and I stand by that. And a lot of people are gonna be like, what about the Joker? And I'm just gonna like to that I say, Like, come on, man.
Go
Like,
away.
he was good. He was good. He was good. I'm not gonna diss Heath Ledger's performance,
Hell no.
but they missed a very key component, and it was because I feel like they didn't portray the fact that Joker did this because he thought it was funny. Like, the humor behind the Joker was very lacking in that movie. And people, like, I see into arguments about this all the time, and I'm just gonna, like, look at the Arkham Asylum Joker, or the Arkham franchise Joker,
Okay.
and look at Heath Ledger's Joker. And, like, you can say, yes, Heath Ledger had a couple of, like, funny parts, but, like, the Arkham series Joker was just fucking hilarious. Like, he was funny, like, and he would do horrible shit, and they then say something funny afterwards, and you're just like, how am I still laughing?
So
You know what I mean?
So you're saying there's sort of more like an air of like levity to him as opposed to it just being super like anarchistic and like nihilistic?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that was the key component of the Joker. It always has been. Not just the severe chaos, but the whimsicality behind it.
I hadn't thought about that.
That Two-Face missed his entire dual personality, multiple personality thing. Like,
Yeah.
that was fucked up. And then Bane, not even gonna talk about Bane. Bane's a fucking abomination. Talia al Ghul, like, her whole motive was, like, really fucked up. Like, in the comics, like, her and Batman had a kid together eventually.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and they're just like, it was one night stand. I slept with you to get with your fucking company. Like, whatever. She's not that. That's not her character at all, and that's sort of like doing a disservice to the character. And then who else was in Rises?
Exactly.
Exactly. There's a
Well,
third.
Scarecrow technically.
No, isn't there a third like actual villain?
A third villain? No, I don't think so. Oh, Catwoman.
Catwoman. Oh my god.
Anti-hero, whatever the fuck you want
Yeah.
to call it.
It was bullshit. Didn't have a whip.
I mean,
She didn't whip it.
I don't give a fuck about the whip. Honestly.
I do.
Oh, dude.
The whip is don't get me wrong.
That's
The
better
whip,
without a batarang.
yes. However, I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna say a whole character is ruined just because they don't have a thing. Because I feel
But
like
if it's the trademark
I
thing,
feel like
come
you
on.
can do alternate takes. Joker never had the bang gun.
Okay. Also, I'm also saying that Joker was not good.
Joker
So
isn't the whip to Catwoman.
it's
The
like
Joker like having a knife is to Joker what
It's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make Superman, but he can't fly. Like, it's an essential part of her character. Like, part of like the sassiness in the comics and in the original one with Michelle Pfeiffer, she would just walk around like flipping this whip around like a cat's tail would, and like that's kind of the whole point. Like, she's Catwoman. You know what I mean? And this whole like, she's a cat burglar. There should be enough to justify her being called Catwoman. Like, fuck that and everything you stand for, Christopher Nolan. Like, that's such horseshit.
While we're on that topic, let's go femme fatales. Let's go the best portrayal of a female comic book character.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Widow.
Widow.
I like Widow a lot.
Widow, really?
But I like it, but it's also on the crux that like
Widow what now? Who?
Black Widow.
Oh, Black Widow.
But this is also resting on the sheer fact that they've given her maybe like 15-30 minutes of screen time in the entire series. And like they only have just
Winter Soldier had some pretty heavy moments with her.
Winter Soldier had every moment. So did like
Avengers 2 did a pretty good job.
Avengers
First
2.
Avengers, not so much.
Yeah.
But Avengers 2 had a good amount of Widow.
technically Iron Man 2 if you want to go that way too.
Not even technically. Iron Man 2 had some pretty strong.
No, but I
Widow.
mean like it was no like her character's really cool. And I like that she was that obviously she was supposed to hold her own, but because I'm not gonna say it was just because of Joss Whedon, helping, basically steer her character. But he knows how to deal with more with female characters, so I feel like that really let her have her moments. And it wasn't until was it Winter Soldier when they started going into her backstory a little bit?
It was
Or
Avengers
was
2.
it Avengers 2? Okay.
Yeah.
So like it was only then that you even got like a smidgen of it. And it was like, I kind of wanted more. I don't like though that they were sort of like they weren't. I mean, I'm not gonna say they were forcing a romance between her and Banner, but
It felt a little forced.
it did. So I was almost like I kind of don't like that they could just like push her in anybody's direction just to be like, look, she's doing this. It's sort of like just let her be. Let's see where she goes.
Yeah, it was definitely felt like they were like, oh look, it's the female character. Like, let's fucking
True.
push her off on a romance.
I'm gonna go ahead and kind of cheat because I feel like with the older female characters, I feel like the sex appeal kind of takes over too much for the character. So I'm gonna go with someone they couldn't really have had sex appeal to, and say X-23 and Logan.
Plot
fair
twist.
enough.
Because even though, for a lot of people who got into X-23, you don't exactly see her as much as a child. She's normally kind of like a woman as X-23.
She's a teenager.
Yeah, you know, like she's grown.
She grown.
For real, man. They did such a great job with her, and I feel like that's something that they should be able to do with any female role without having to like overly sexualize it. Like one of the biggest issues that a lot of fans had, even though you know, comic book fans are always known as being like,
Mad about something.
oh no, we get mad about everything.
Get passionate.
Yeah, I mean to kind of like, I don't know, I couldn't really think of the word or phrase, but one thing that people were like, yo, okay, maybe that was a little bit too stupid, was when Jessica Alba was Invisible Woman, and they did everything they could in every movie to make her as close to naked as possible, or just naked as possible. Like,
Yeah.
It happened both times.
Did it happen in both movies? I
Both
just remember
movies.
the
The
first.
first movie it happened on the bridge, and the second
Yeah.
movie it happened when her and Johnny touched and switched powers.
It's like she just went invisible. That means her clothes are gone.
No, because she's like, oh, I'm on fire, and Johnny touches her again, and she just freaks out and goes naked, and drops her clothes. And they're just like, Sue! Because she doesn't notice she's naked, apparently. She can't look down.
Or doesn't feel
Yeah,
naked.
Sue, your stiff-ass neck! She's like, oh. let's put some motherfucking, like, oil from the goddamn Wizard of Oz on that goddamn Tin Man neck. And get you looking down at your boobles. And she's just like, oh.
They're a thing.
But yeah, so like one of my favorite scenes from Logan, and the first time I actually felt like intimidated by a female comic book character really was when X-23 is walking towards the baddie, and he's just like,
And he like
no, and you hear the tremble in his voice,
Yeah.
which only proves not only can you write a character really well, but have the other actors around feel intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, you see Black Widow in the middle of this airport scene in Civil War, and you're like, yeah, but there's guys that can like increase their strength and stuff. Like, there's all these dudes who do this, and Black Widow is a total badass. She's fighting like monsters and shit, and she's holding her punches against her best friend Scarlet Witch. Is like, you hold your punches, Paprikash. You know, it's kind of like, why is she? You know, like rip these people apart.
Scarlet Witch actually says that to Hawkeye, by the way.
Oh, does he? Or
Yeah.
does she? Oh, whatever. Well, then anyways, Black Widow, doesn't she get, like, kind of, like, slammed down by this dude?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I wanted Black Widow, I wanted a scene where Black Widow, like, kicks the shit out of Captain America. You know, after you've seen what they went through in Winter Soldier as, like, a team, she knows him really well, and she studies everything.
Yeah.
You know, she's been near Tony Stark, but she kissed Cap. She took a road trip with Cap. She saw him, like, think about these flashbacks and go back in time. She could have like done mind games and really messed him up,
Yeah.
and still have pulled out that like betrayal scene with Black Panther and have it been even cooler, because you're like, look what she just did to Cap a second ago, and now she's still willing to side with him, you know, and that like they missed that opportunity. I didn't feel like she was gonna even be a big issue. I was like, oh, what if Vision showed up? He would have just obliterated her.
Could have.
You know, at least when I think about like X-23, if she had to go against Vision, she would still try to fight. She would still do something crazy.
She had to go against Vision, she would fucking win. Like, come on, man.
He can just like kind of
He
kind of
just faced with
just
the
phase,
claws.
yeah.
But also, like, what's he gonna
He's
do?
Danny
What's he
Phantom.
gonna do to her? You know?
He has the mind gem. He could blast through like
It's
armor.
beams, right?
Yeah.
Just beam.
Who knows how strong the beams are, because he never fought Captain America either, which I
Special
thought
beam
was
cannon.
also a waste of time. There should have been moments in which you were like, oh my god, this character could probably get like blown to pieces, but they used some sort of intellect to their character to stop it. You know?
Yeah.
But they goofed up on a couple things there that could have made that airport scene fun. I mean, it was already long in a lot of people's opinions, but
Yeah.
it could have been juicy.
Absolutely. I definitely feel like if you're gonna have not even just a female character, but this is just like a writing, like, I don't even know, like a concept. I don't even know what to call it. But if you're gonna have a character that fucking is significantly less powerful than another character, they have to have something redeeming about them, in the sense that like they have like their wits or something that could match their strength. You know what I mean?
Amen. And when you have a badass character like Black Widow, make her badass.
Yeah.
Lois Lane, I don't expect to go up to Lex Luthor and hit him with like a German suplex, but I do expect Black Widow to like stare down Bucky Barnes and say, "I can shoot you in the head." And I don't care if you think you're going to be fine. Like, you fought me before, you beat me, you powerbombed me on this table. But I'm going to kick your ass this time. They should have gone back to that moment and kind of, like, had her powerbomb him back. And then you're just like, did she just do that to him? Or, like, she just grabs him by the arm and does, like, a judo toss on this guy. You're just like, god damn.
And she can do it to literally everybody except people that are relevant to the plot, I guess.
Yeah, you know, she did all this, like, ballet flashback. I actually wanted to see her do some sort of, like, acrobatic-ass moves against more people than just Hawkeye. Sure, that was fun for people to see and be like, oh my god, they were friends. But I want to see her, you know, defeat the odds. Don't put her against a normie. Put her against someone who should be able to kill her, but that she, you know, gets. So, and then speaking of big guys too, will there ever be justice done to a big guy character? You can say the Hulk was a success, but you can't say the Hulk was the success.
I would say to that, I mean, I feel like they're trying. I feel. I mean, again, I feel like with Ragnarok, they're trying to give it a shot.
Okay.
And the closest we got was maybe Incredible Hulk, because that one was. It was the closest that like I've seen the Hulk to have a really good comic book portrayal.
Okay.
But they haven't gotten to like the stratospheric levels of just how fucking strong he is.
Exactly. Well, they haven't. For me, they haven't even scratched the surface, and they haven't scratched the surface with how strong Bane is, or the Thing, which is very upsetting.
That was a huge missed opportunity because he goes toe to toe with the Hulk.
I mean, yeah, he goes toe to toe, and he can beat the Hulk. And even though Fox doesn't own the rights to the Hulk or anything, they can still show how strong the Thing is in comparison. You know, they've had all the time to plan, like, all this destruction Hulk has done. Make the Thing do something even bigger.
Yeah.
That makes you say, like, Hulk may have jumped through a building, but the Thing just, like, broke through all the floors.
The most we see is, like, he breaks through what? He breaks through a wall?
He throws an army tank, I think. Or maybe Hulk does the same thing, too, though.
He does.
But I think
Hulk literally, he literally gets a car and makes it a boxing glove.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's like his like signature though.
Yeah, the surface.
And that's why I like that little thing in Incredible Hulk. It's tight.
But I still don't. I don't know. Like he fought the Abomination. It was a back and forth. It was kind of cool. But I still didn't feel like, man, what a bad. Like if I could be a superhero, would I want to be like the kind of like slim leader who's in really good shape and has this power, or like the powerhouse of the group, or maybe the cunning of the group? I would not pick the powerhouse. The most impressive super like strength person that's a big guy that I've ever seen in a comic book movie is Mr. Incredible in The Incredibles. That's the most I've ever been like, man, I want to be like, I want super strength to be my power.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a bummer. I hope that Ragnarok brings it. I hope if they ever do a billionth reboot of the Fantastic Four, that the Thing is not only badass strong, but extremely smart at the same time. That he does something strong while like wise at the same time. He gets someone that's bigger than him, and he's like, "Oh, this is how I'm gonna take you down."
Yeah.
You know, that would be awesome. Maybe he does something that's related to, because he was an engineer.
Yeah, he was supposed to be smart, you know. Yeah, but like, in the last reboot, he was like, I just go to the junkyard and I work in the mobile shop.
He's supposed to be smart, and then you got Michael Chiklis like, "Don't do drugs." Like.
It's clobbering time, guys.
It's clobbering time. That's fantastic.
Oh god, don't.
Fantastic. If you guys haven't seen the last few minutes of Fantastic Four, the new one, Fan4stick, do so.
I guess the last thing I just want to leave off on, I guess, is.
Oh, are we doing? Are we done?
Almost. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Remember, this was supposed to be about something else.
Well, the topic was why do we watch comic book movies? And if you guys haven't picked it up from this conversation, then I'm sorry, because this is why we watch comic book movies.
Yeah,
because
these are good
whether
points.
they're good or they're bad, they bring a community of people who otherwise wouldn't be able to talk about this stuff together. And they brought a genre that was supposed to be lame and stupid and made fun of into one of the coolest, most high-grossing things on the planet right now.
Yeah.
So, thank you for anyone who's ever put out a comic book movie or who had the heart to say, you know what, let me try to make a character like Catwoman or Daredevil work in an age where people only think that Batman's cool.
Speaking of which, Daredevil.
Who's that?
Probably the coolest fucking TV show I've ever watched in my life. Easily the coolest fucking TV show I've ever watched in my life.
Better than Legion.
I never watched
He
Legion.
hasn't watched Legion.
But
yet.
also, Daredevil is perfect television.
Yeah, but on that note, if you guys haven't seen any of the Netflix shows from Marvel, a lot of them are fantastic. Daredevil has been said to be the best. I personally think it's the best. But I haven't finished Iron Fist yet, so.
I haven't started Iron Fist yet. I didn't know it was out.
And then, yeah, do so. Watch Legion. Give all the shows a try. If you're a fan of the cinematic universes or the Fox movies, the Sony movies,
CW verse,
whatever, go ahead and give it a shot. And thank you for listening to Rodrigo hosting
this thing. It's us talking. Oh, sponsored by wet peanut butter. When chunky peanut butter is too much, get wet peanut butter. You smack it on a sandwich.
Yeah, and Lysol. It's like Lysol, but it's Hispanic. So when you spray it, you hear the sounds of an angry Cuban mom.
And you feel the repression.
You feel the wrath.
Saying, ¿Dónde estás? Y tú tienes hambre? Like as loud as possible.
All in one whiff.
Yeah. You get the beautiful smell of your Hispanic mother realizing that you skipped out on homemade food for fast food. Thank you for joining us.
See you next time, guys.
Me too.